Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to go over my 2-year natural transformation that I've achieved over the past couple years and compare where I was at 2 years ago in June 2021 to where I am at in June of 2023. Now, I wanted to wait to make this video until I was 12% body fat because if we look at this initial picture, this is going to be my starting point. I feel like I was around 12% body fat in this picture. And this was actually like my peak form. So this was the leanest that I'd ever been at the time. I did actually get a little bit leaner, but leanest up to that point. The strongest I'd ever been, I actually hit a bench PR of 375 somewhere within like 2 days of taking this picture. So I was the leanest, strongest, and I think I was holding on to the most muscle. So this was truly like my peak form. This is a true like best I'd ever been up to that point picture. And so I feel like it's an accurate comparison that I can make to something like today. And so again, I wanted to wait until I got down to 12% body fat to make this video. But as I got leaner and leaner, I realized a couple things. One, I wanted to get even leaner than 12%. This cut has been going extremely well. I have been getting hungry recently, but just for the first time. And I just added cardio this week. And so I think I have a lot more, in the tank in terms of pushing and getting leaner. And so I feel like I'm going to take it as lean as I can go, to be honest. So I'm not sure how much willpower I'm going to have, but as of right now, this cut hasn't been hard. And so I feel like I'm going to be able to go past 12%. So I realized that. Another thing I realized is like how much water I hold on a daily basis like fluctuates dramatically. And it can even be like a week where I just feel like I'm like really watery and then I'll drop a bunch of water. This is pretty standard when you're cutting, but it became very apparent to me this cut, for whatever reason, I've had massive fluctuations. And so as opposed to trying to align it on a perfect date and be like, I'm going to be 12% on June 18th and I'm going to compare these pictures, I just figured I would make a few of these videos. So this is going to be kind of a preliminary video. I'm not 12% yet. And the picture that I'm going to compare, it's just going to be one picture. I'm going to have, in other videos, I'm going to do more in-depth comparisons on things that I've changed and stuff like that. But as of right now, I'm going to be throwing up a picture that's actually old. So this is me at 245 pounds. And so picture 1, 218, picture 2, 245. And so that's a 27-pound difference. These are not the same leanness, okay? So again, 245 here, I'm currently 238, and I'm still, in my opinion, not 12% body fat. And so I'm going to have to lose more weight to get back down to 12. And then I'll make another video and I feel like I'm around 12 and I have some pictures to compare there. I'm going to go and take more pictures. I'm going to take like back double bicep and stuff like that because I think that's actually a much more representative picture of, what my transformation has been. So for me, I've put a lot of size on my lats in particular, my lower back, my traps, my triceps, my quads, right? So this, picture, this is more just comparing leanness. But if we look between these two pictures, I'm not sure exactly what my body fat percentage would have been at, 245, but I'm guessing it was maybe 16%, maybe 15 if I'm lucky. I don't know exactly. And so again, 245, there's a 27-pound difference. And so for me, I kind of want to see what weight I end up at when I'm 12% body fat. So let's say it's 230, for example. It might be higher than that, but let's say it's 230. Well, if I'm 12% at 230 over the last 2 years, I would have put on 12 pounds lean. Okay. And this is kind of goes back to what I was saying before. When you have these fluctuations in like water weight and, you might not get the perfect picture on the perfect day. And there might be a little bit of fluctuation. Like for example, sometimes I'll wake up 3-4 pounds heavier, lighter than the previous day. It's kind of what happens when you're dieting and you're holding on to more or less water. And so I've been seeing a lot of these fluctuations. And so I don't want to be like, oh, I'm 230 this day and I'm 218, therefore I gained 12 pounds lean. I'm just going to, do a few of these videos and kind of give more of an overall representation of where I'm currently at. But again, 245 in this picture, I'm currently 238. So I am substantially lighter and leaner, but I'm still not quite at that 12% body fat level. So, just kind of wanted to throw those pictures up. Now, if I were to like look at these and not be in my own body, I'd be like, oh, this 245, my waist seems roughly the same size. That being said, I have been taking waist measurements. And I can tell you that my waist is definitely bigger when I'm 245. And even now that I've dropped 7 more pounds since this photo, I still have a bigger waist than when I was 218. And so it may look like the waists are pretty comparable. However, you know, I live in my body. I look in the mirror on a daily basis. I have a much better understanding of like where I'm at than just based off like one picture. But I figured these would kind of show a difference in leanness. And so one thing that I've noticed for myself is I hold on to, until the very end, until I get quite lean, I hold on to a lot of fat in my love handles and my waist and stuff like that. And so what happened to me 2 years ago when I was in 2021, when I was around 218, I lost a dramatic amount of fat and just size overall from my waist, going from roughly 14% body fat to 12. And so I'm really excited to see that materialize again. Let's say I'm like 13%, I'm probably above 13% right now. I don't know exactly, but let's say I'm like 14% right now. From 14 to 12, 2 years ago, I saw a dramatic drop in my waist size. So I'm hoping that same thing happens, and then we're going to see, hopefully in the pictures, they'll hopefully represent that well enough. And then, yeah, I'll be able to confidently say like, hey, I'm 12%, I'm 232 or something like that, or 230 or whatever I end up at. And then we'll be able to compare how much weight had I gained. I have strength numbers. I will probably elaborate on that a little bit more in my next video. Again, I'm currently probably, I don't know, 14% body fat. If we look at the 245 picture, now that I'm doing the math in my head, it probably makes more sense that I was like 16% in that picture if I'm 14 now. I don't know exactly. Again, these are all kind of guesses. And if I go off of body scans that I've gotten, the picture that I showed initially, it said I was 10.5% there, which in my case, I think I was more like 12. And so I'm not really going off the body scans, but when I do get close to that 12% body fat, I am going to try and take a scan and see how they compare. But as of right now, it seems like I've gained 10 plus pounds of lean mass over the past couple of years, which I think is really good, especially as somebody who is natural. And there are a lot of things that I did wrong over the last couple of years that I think I can do better. So I really want to do this video, 2-year transformation, and then I'm going to go on like a 2-year bulk, a very like lean, slow bulk. And we'll see what happens over the next couple of years, but I think I can get even better results. And I'm very excited to continue to implement some of the things that I've learned over the past couple of years, and hopefully have an even better transformation. But in this video, again, these pictures are just to kind of compare the leanness between, you know, where I'm at or where I was at when I took this picture versus back in 2021. And again, I'm going to have like a back double bicep and stuff like that to have a little bit better of a representation of kind of the muscle that I've gained and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are somewhat interested in that if you've stayed this far in the video. But I'm very proud of the progress that I've made over the past couple of years. You know, back before this first picture was taken, I was somebody who believed in the natural limit. I thought I was getting close. I thought I didn't really have, you know, much left to give. I didn't know if I was ever going to bench like 405. And all of a sudden here I am, you know, I've benched above 405. I'm planning to, at some point in the future, bench 500 pounds. And I'm just much more optimistic about the potential that I have, and I'm much more knowledgeable and everything like that. So I hope that that kind of thing can inspire people who maybe feel like their gains are slowing down, but then when you zoom out and you really look, you know, for me, I've been at it for a long time. I've been lifting on and off for over a decade. And so for me to make these kind of gains, and then I feel like I'm even making better gains right now, and I'm making gains during a cut in terms of like strength going up and everything like that. So I really just want to be somebody who can kind of show you like, hey, if you do the right things and you are persistent and you do it for a long enough time, you can add a lot of muscle long down the line. So hopefully that can be somewhat inspirational to some of you guys. I know when I see other people like Alpha Destiny, Jeffrey Verity Schofield, my coach, Bald Omni-Man, just, you know, decade into lifting and they continue to make gains, it's extremely inspiring to me. So if I can do anything like that to any of you guys, that's kind of why I put these videos out here, and just kind of, you know, any way that I can inform or help people out, that's what I want to do. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.